All right, 12 Soul here, and we're still in Tennessee. I got myself an engine issue here, and I'm sitting here with a guy named Sims. And Sims is what you call a new age hobo, I guess, right? And we were sitting here around the table, and I just wanted to share y'all a story, a couple stories he's got about trains and how you catch them, what you do, Google, all kinds of stuff. So, without any further ado, what do you think about train running today, buddy?
Train running today,
Yeah.
hard work,
Why do you say that?
dedication.
What do you got going on with it?
Sometimes you're gonna have to walk through town. Sometimes you're gonna have to go 5, 6 miles through dense brush. Sometimes you gotta go around moats. Sometimes you gotta.
So the train's locked up now, so you can't get to them, or can you get them up
No,
on the
you
thing?
you can get to them. All trains you can get to. They got rolling stock such as Intermodal, General Manifest. They have
Is it dangerous?
very dangerous. It's a thing that once you've learned how to get a hold of the basics and you understand what slack action is.
Okay, what's a slack action?
Slack action is if I had two wagons and I'm yanking on one wagon, the other wagon's being yanked by that other wagon, but the pounds per square inch in the middle, in the couple, is where the force is still prevalent. It's still equal to, and if not equal to, greater than the force being pulled. So whatever's pulling an object.
What happens if you get your leg in between a coupling?
Well, that's a crazy story because I know people. I know a lady who she's badass. She got her foot stuck in a coupler. It closed just like in that movie Unstoppable, and opened back up. She got it out. She got her foot out. But for the next 6 hours, she had to ride the rest of that train all the way to the next city.
Was it crushed?
It was crushed.
So did you tourniquet it, or what did you do?
She said she tourniqueted it, had a little bit of whiskey, drank it, and pretty much just caterwauled and forgot about it. I mean, those are things that I look at and I'm prepared for. Unfortunately, you have to prepare for something like that.
So why do you run trains?
Got to get someplace. Got to get there fast, or at least in a decent amount of time.
Are they always going by roads?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, and then sometimes they go into further places unknown and come back on the other side, just still connected to that road. In my paradigm of today's trains, the way that they run them now, there's further terminuses. You're not just riding from rail yard to 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 rail yard.
Yeah.
There's a lot more trains that are going.
So what about
here,
the train
there.
men? Are you able to be found out easier now or not?
It depends. It depends on three things: how you approach, how they're feeling, and your overall impression on the yard. So the first and the last thing I said on that is your impression and the way that you carry yourself. Like when you're in the rail yard, you should follow their safety protocol. You should follow their guidelines, their rules. So if you're walking down the tracks, a guide rule that I say, take 4 steps and take 1 step to look back. So you take your 4 steps, and as you're walking, every 4 paces, look back. Always look back.
Because there might be a train coming.
Could be a rail car that just kicked. You know, they could have just kicked the rail car down them rails. You're not gonna hear it.
So
you'll feel it.
Okay.
You'll feel that.
So you'll have a rail car hit you as it's rolling.
Yeah, there's been stories of well, they talk about us as trespassers, but I'd like to say in today's time, we're like the engineer's best friend most of the time because
you're looking out for stuff.
Yeah, I look out for stuff. Hell. Okay. Okay.
We're gonna put this on hold. Okay, so we're back, and we had to do something with the AC. So Sims, tell me about the people that you meet on the rails. Would you recommend that anybody start doing this, or do you have to know people, or do you get to know people?
I recommend today's youth. Yes. I'd recommend this for every youth in the world that finds themselves troubled.
Why?
There ain't nothing like sitting by yourself. You watching the sunset. It could be negative 26 down outside. You are literally colder than a witch's tit in a brass bra. Literally. You might be sitting on outside. You might be in a locomotive. You might be getting pulled. You might be in the rear DPU with the heater kicked on and your feet cocked up. But it's that quintessential knowledge of, hey, I went out there, I didn't have any money, and instead of picking up a gun and let's go hit the block or let's go be a gangster and carry guns, do all this dirty shit, I'm sitting here in this railroad car doing something
safe. Yeah.
Somewhat safe.
Right.
Or I'm doing something in this rail car that is productive for my life to proceed on to the next goal.
So you're 26 now. When's the first time you hit a train? When's the first time you jumped on a train?
I was 17 years old. I used to be in the streets of Atlanta. I wasn't a good kid. I was not a good kid. If you'd have met me at 17, most people would have thrown the book at me and been like, lock him up and forget about that kid.
So you decided to just go and see the world? Did you want to see the world, or did you want to...
I did it to rewrite my brain's code. My brain's code used to be dirty.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a really funky mind right there.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
So what did the rails do for you?
It helped me clear it out. It helped me face certain things. You get tired of being angry for no reason, wanting to hurt things for no reason, sitting by yourself on a rail car, and you can't do nothing but blame yourself. You can do nothing. That's where true responsibility comes in. You get hungry because that's your fault. That's your fault. You get hungry, that's your fucking fault.
So you jumped on a train a couple times without any food.
Yeah.
When do they? How's it? Is it run a day or is it
starved.
run 6 hours?
I've starved for a full 2.5 days.
Then what do you do once you get off the train? Find a town?
Well, usually I stop in towns. Like all trains have what is called a crew change point. Whether that's in town, 50 miles outside of town, 20 miles outside of town, in the middle of plum bumfuck Egypt, anywhere.
And at that point in time, you step off the train?
Sometimes. If it's in the middle of BFE, I won't get off. If I'm in the middle of bumfuck Egypt, I think there's only been 2 times I've done a emergency D-board and run for the trailing locomotive.
Mm-hmm.
Once I get down there to the trailing locomotive, depending on whether if it's hot or if it's cold outside, the weather, I'll cut on the AC, strip heater if need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I'm getting ready to go through a slew of tunnels, if I'm in the Pacific Northwest or out there in Colorado, getting ready to go through Moffett, I'll get in there and I'll cut on the tunnel filter, the HEMT, HEMT.
Because you're going to be breathing fumes if you're in a car, and it's not safe.
Yeah, if you're in a rail car, you'll be just breathing fumes, and after so many years of just doing that, I mean, yeah, you'll survive.
But
You
it
won't
hurts
feel it. You will feel it eventually.
All right, well, that's about all we can talk about right now. We got other guests coming in, but thanks a lot, Sims, for that lesson in life.
Be safe out there.